morning and Sairam students. Hope you all are doing well. So let us start with our today's class. As you all know that we have started a new chapter in New Voices in the last class. That is chapter number 8, Pandavas in Exile. So before continuing with the chapter, I want all the students to open their book, page number 82. So now let us begin with the reading. So, in the last class, we have read that it's a story about Pandavas and Kauravas. Pandavas, as they lost the game of Chaucer from Shakuni, the maternal uncle of Duryodhan. Now, for the punishment, Pandavas were sent in the exile for 13 years. Now, in this chapter, we come to know that they have spent 12 years in exile in the forest. They come to many adventures also. And now they are in the last year, that is the 13th year. One day, what happened that Pandavas were in search of deer. They were actually trying to catch the deer, but they were unable to catch the deer. The atmosphere was also very warm, very hot. The sun was very hot on that day. While they were searching for the deer, they were very tired because they were roaming here and there in such a hot weather. So they become very tired. Plus, they also become parched. Parched means their mouth become parched. That means it become very dry due to thirstiness. They were very thirsty and they want to have water. At last, when the deer was vanished, Yudhishthir, the elder of all the brothers, decided that we are going to stay under the tree, and he sent his younger brother Sahadev to bring water. Now, when he sent Sahadev, Sahadev didn't return for a long time. Then he sent Nakul, Arjun and Bhim one after the other to search for their brothers. But nobody returns. At last, Yudhishthir was very worried about his brothers, and he decided that now I will go in search of my brothers. So, when he started his journey, he followed the footstep of his brothers, and then at last he reached near a pool. Looking at the pool, he was very much attracted towards that pool because that pool was having very clean and clear water, and it is having many different color lotus also. So he was very mesmerized to see such a clear water, and he was attracted to have water. But the main problem was that when he saw on the other side, he saw that his four brothers were lying there. We doesn't know that they were unconscious or they dead, but Yudhishthir thought that they were dead, and he started crying a lot. He started banging his head on the floor, and he was crying aloud. And at last he said to heaven that please call me also, because I can't stay without my brother on this earth. Now in this time also we here what actually happened with these four brothers is told here. What happened to these four brothers? Let us know that. What happened that Sadev first went in search of water, and when he came near to the pool, he saw pool and he got attracted. He was so excited to have water because he was thirsty. And when he bent down to have water, when he made cup of his hand and tried to have water, a invisible speaker was there, and the speaker said, Sahadev, don't drink this water because this pool is a enchanted pool. Enchanted pool means which is having magical spell. That means this water is magical. But Sahadev ignored that voice. But again, when he tried to have the water, that voice again said, I am Yaksha, and this pool belongs to me. If you have to drink water, you have to answer the question which I am going to ask. Now, Sahadev thought that this is my imagination because of this hot weather, and I'm thirsty also. So, this is because of that. So, let us continue what actually happened to these four brothers and how Yudhishthir was successful in saving his brother's life. So, open page number 82 and let us begin with the reading. It must be my fancy, Sahadev thought. The hot sun makes my imagination work. So here Sahadev is saying that this voice is my imagination, this is not real voice, and because of this hot weather I am thinking such a big thing that is going near around me. So it is not real, this is all just my imagination, my dreams. He decided to ignore the voice of the invisible speaker. He was too tired and thirsty to wait. He made a cup of his hands, kneeling down, began to drink. So he said that this is just ignore this voice, and he make cup of his hand like this. We make cup of our hands when we drink water. So he just did that, make cup of his hand, kneel down, and just trying to have water. But hardly had the water touched his lip, but he was not able to touch the water through his lips. When he felt himself struck down, Sahadev's senses reeled. The world went dark and he fell down unconscious. So when he was trying to have water, something happened that he was not able to drink the water, and he felt unconscious that somebody is hitting him, and he was not able to react on that, and he felt unconscious on the floor. When Nakul arrived shortly afterward, he was grieved and surprised to see his brother in this condition, but too great was his own thirst that he had not wear. He rushed to the water's edge to drink, but as he stopped, he too heard the Yaksha's warning voice. However, he too paid no attention. He drank, and instantly he was struck down and rendered unconsciously. So, what happened? Again, when Nakul came in search of his brother, he saw that his brother is unconscious and he was very worried about him. But on the other hand, he was very thirsty. So, what he decided? He decided to drink the water first. So he was also very thirsty, so he decided that first I will drink the water, then I will go to my brother. But as soon as but same thing happened with him also. When he was trying to have water, somebody named Yaksha speaking to him, she announces that don't drink this water because this is a magical water. But he ignored the same way Sahdev did. And what happened at last? When he drank the water, he also felt unconscious without revolving or without reacting on that. When Bhim came to the spot, the same fate overtook him. Though he was strong and mighty, and though he sent a shower of arrows in all directions and searched all around for the hidden enemy. So what happened? Bhim was very tough. He is a very tough man. So though he drank the water, he was also feeling unconscious. But what he did, he just throw the arrow or shower the arrow in all the direction. He was thinking that this is the enemy which is surrounding us, so I should kill them. But it was an invisible voice which he is also not aware of. Arjun fated no better, and when Yudhishthir came at last to the pool in search of them, he found his four brothers lying as if they were dead. For a long time, Yudhishthir wept over them, then, feeling his thirst overpower him, he dragged himself to the edge of the water. So, what happened? Every brother, the four brothers, Arjun, Bhim, Nakul, Sahadev, all felt unconscious on the land, and thinking that his brothers have died, Yudhishthir start crying for a long time, and he just went on crying and crying for a long time. But when he felt that he was very thirsty and his thirst was overpowering his sadness or his sorrow, he first went to the pool and he started to drink the water. Let us see what happened after that. But as he bent down, Yudhishthir heard the Yaksha's warning voice. Now, same happened with Yudhishthir also. He also heard the voice of Yaksha. Yudhishthir looked around. Who are you? He asked. Ask your question and I shall answer them as well as I can. So, here, what different Yudhishthir did? All brothers ignore this voice, but Yudhishthir didn't ignore this voice. He just requested Yaksha that please ask me the question. I will try to answer that question. Then the voice said, I am Yaksha, O Yudhishthir, and it is well for you that you heeded my warning. Now listen to my question. So Yaksha is trying to say that now it's good that you heard my warning. Otherwise, your brothers didn't listen to me. Now you should listen to me. Listen to my question carefully. What makes the sun shine? So here Yaksha asks a question to Yudhishthir. Now tell me, what makes the sun shine? How the sun shines? Yudhishthir answer, the power of God. What the next question she asks is that, what is men's surest weapon against danger? The Yaksha asked, and the Yudhishthir said, courage. Courage is his surest weapon in danger. So Yaksha asked, so what is the weapon a man can use when he is in danger? Yudhishthir answered, the man should have courage, enough courage to face that danger. That is the surest weapon. Now, page number 83. Okay. What gives more to men than even the earth does? So here Yaksha put her third question in front of Yudhishthir and she asked, now tell me, what more man can have other than earth? Now what feeds him and sustain him and makes him strong? Now here Yaksha is asking, what makes men strong and on which thing man feed? Feed means he just have his food and make him strong. The Yaksha question. Yudhishthir replied, a mother. Surely it is only a mother who gives a man life, feed him and sustain him. A mother is more than the earth. So here the answer given by Yudhishthir was mother. And mother can feed a baby or a man. She can give life and she can sustain him also. When does a man become loved by his fellow? Asked the Yaksha. So Yaksha asked the question that, what makes a man a good person so that everyone other human being also started loving that person? And Yudhishthir returned, when he gives up pride. So when a person gives up pride, when he is not proud of himself, when he is a very down to earth person, then only other fellow beings started loving us. What is that which makes a man happy when he has lost it? So here Yaksha asked the question, so tell me, what is that thing when it is lost the man becomes happy? Anger, said Yudhishthir. So Yudhishthir answered that this is the anger, that when man lost his anger he becomes happy. Without hesitation, for he knew that when a man gives up anger, then he is full of peace. The Yaksha continued. So she was continued asking questions and questions to Yudhishthir, and he was also very smart. He also giving the answers in just a second. What can a man give up and immediately become rich? Desire. Answer Yudhishthir, that man should give up all the desire of having all the things in his life. Only then he can become rich. It is only the man without desire who is really rich. But even if a man has 1,000 things, he will be poor if he has lot of desire and he is not satisfied. So he is trying to say that if a man has lot of desire means that I want this and everything I should have, then the man, though he is very rich, but still he becomes poor because he is not satisfied of whatever he is having with him. But if a man give up desires that I don't want anything, whatever I am having, that is enough for me, then only he becomes rich. That is the quality of a rich person. Not because of money, because of as a human being. So the Yaksha asked his question and Yudhishthir answered them until at last the Yaksha said, O king, I am well pleased with your answer, and I shall restore to you one of your brother. Choose who it shall be. Yudhishthir looked at the unconscious form of his brother. It was hard for him to decide, but he spoke at last. So here, when Yaksha got convinced by Yudhishthir's answer, Yaksha said that, tell me, I will unconscious your brother. Sorry, I will remove that spell from your brother. Whom do you want? I can only restore only one brother. Now Yudhishthir looked at his brother and he was very confused that to whom I should choose. Now, page number 84. The story continues. O King Yaksha, O kind Yaksha, he said, restore to me my brother Nakula. And why Nakul? The Yaksha voice asked. It's not Bhim more useful to you? Will you not benefit from his great strength in the war that will surely come? And Arjun, why do you not choose Arjun? Is he not dearer to you than all? Is he not the most handsome, the most skilled among them all in the use of arms? Why then do you choose Nakul? So when Yaksha asked Yudhishthir to choose one brother, Yudhishthir smartly answered that I want Nakul to be restored. Then Yaksha said, why do you want Nakul to be restored? Why don't you want Bhim? Because Bhim is very powerful and he can help you in war also. Leave Bhim. Why don't you want Arjun? He is very skillful. He is very good at arms. And he is very handsome. Why only you choose Nakul? So let us see what answer Yudhishthir gave. Then Yudhishthir gave his noblest answer. Listen, O Yaksha, he said, righteousness and truth are a man's only weapon and protection. The strength of Bhim and the skill of Arjun would be of no use to me if I acted unrighteously. Indeed, I would be unrighteous if I looked to my own gain and begged for Bhim's life or Arjun's in preference of Nakul. For Nakul is Madri's son, and Bhim and Arjun, like me, are Kunti's children. Of Kunti's children, I at least live. But if Nakul and Sahadev should both die, then Madri's line would end. Therefore, O Yaksha, it is right that Nakula's life should be restored rather than Bhim or Arjun. So here, being an elder brother, a beautiful answer was given by Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir said, this power, this courage, this skill is not in use if you don't make a right decision. How can be I so selfish that I choose my brothers just to make myself happy? It can happen that if I make a wrong decision, then this skillfulness, this courage, this power is of no use to me. So here I am making a right decision that me, that is Yudhishthir, Bhim and Arjun are the son of Kunti. And Malti's son are Nakul and Sahadev. So I want, if from Kunti's son I am alive, so from Madri's son, Nakul should be alive. So that the line, that is the family, or you can say the hereditary of Madri's should be there. It should not end like this. So I want Nakul should be there, so that both the mother should have one son alive. When he had said this, a wonderful thing happened. In a moment there appeared before Yudhishthir a shining crowned person whom he knew at once to be a god and no human being at all. Yudhishthir was right. The strange personage was none other than Yama, god of justice and death, Yudhishthir's heavenly father. Yama embraced Yudhishthir and told him who he was and how he had come to help the Pandavas in their hour of need. So what happened when he have given his answer to the person, to the Yaksha? In that moment, a very bright light was there, and a person appeared in front of Yudhishthir. Personage. A word is used, personage. Personage means a very important or a famous person. So when that light appeared and a person appeared in front of Yudhishthir, he was not a human being. He was a god. And he was none other Yama. Yama, who is known as the god of justice and death. Yam. In Hindi we say Yam. So Yam was a heavenly father of Yudhishthir. And he told who he was, and he came here. So Yaksha came here, or you can say Yama came here to help the Pandavas in the hour of need. He told him how he pleased he was with Yudhishthir's noble conduct and wisdom, and he restored the life not just one of the brother but all of them. They arose and looked about them, dazed and unable to understand what has happened. But Yudhishthir knelt at his heavenly father's feet, and his heart overflowed with gratitude. Yama blessed him and promised that he and his brother would be protected by heaven in their hardship. So what happened? when appear in front of Yudhishthir after listening to his answers, he was pleased by him. And what he said that I am Yam, the god of justice and death, and I came here to help you in the hour of your need. And he restored all four brothers, and they, when they got up, they were unable to understand what has actually happened with them. And Yudhishthir, he knelt down on his knees, he touched the feet of his heavenly father, and here Yam blessed Yudhishthir and said that all five Pandavas will be blessed and protected by the heaven in their hardship. Hardship means in their very hard times. They will be protected by the heaven. Now, here the Yam said, page number 85, Yam said, no harm shall come to you. He said, neither will you be discovered while you live in hiding during the last and 13 year of exile. He advised Yudhishthir to go with his brother and Draupadi to Matsya, where the good king Virata ruled, and to live there in disguise. There they would be safe from their enemies while they awaited the end of their long period of exile. Then Yama left Yudhishthir, who returned into his forest dwelling with his brothers. So what happened? Here in the last page, page number 85, Yama promised Yudhishthir that there will no harm to you in the coming days, and if you want that nobody should discover you, because the condition was that when they lost the game of Chaucer, Pandavas lost the game of Chaucer, Kaurva said that you have to go for 13 years of exile, and if anyone from our family will discover you in this 12 years, then what will happen? You have to go again for 12 years. So here Yam advised Yudhishthir and all other brothers that now you should be very careful, that you should hide in such a way that nobody should recover you. And what you should do? You should go to the Matsya. Matsya is a place and where the king Virat lives, and you should live in his kingdom while disguising you, while making yourself a woman or somebody else in other character, and you would be safe there from your enemies, and wait there only till the time the 13 years completed. And after that the Yama left Yudhishthir and they all went in the forest. So this was your stories, Pandavas in exile. I hope you have all understood. So this was all for today. Thank you, students. Take care. Have a nice day.